Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramhams Parivrajak Shtotar Shat, Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON BBT Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna, Introduction, text number 67. Mataram pitaram bhratrin sarvanscha suridastatha gnanti ya sutripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Mataram pitaram bhratrin sarvanscha suridastatha gnanti yasu tripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Mataram pitaram bhratrin sarvanscha suridastatha gnanti yasu tripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Gnanti yaso tripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Mataram pritaram bhratrin sarvanscha suridastatha sotripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Matajis. Mataram pitaram bhratrin sarvanscha suridastatha gnanti yaso tripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Mataram pritaram bhratrin sarvanscha suridastatha gnanti yasu tripolubdha rajana prayasho bhuvi. Mataram, unto the mother. Pitaram, unto the father. Bhratrin, unto brothers. Sarvancha, and anyone else. Surida, friends. Tatha, as well as. Gnanti, they kill, as it is practically seen. He, indeed, Asutripa, those who envy the lives of others for their personal sense gratification. Lubdha, greedy. Rajana, such kings. Prayasha, almost always. Bhuvi, on the earth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Kings, greedy for sense gratification on this earth, almost always kill their enemies indiscriminately. To satisfy their own whims, they may kill anyone, even their mothers, fathers, brothers, or friends. Purport. We have seen in the history of India that Aurangzeb killed his brother and nephews and imprisoned his father to fulfill political ambitions. There have been many similar instances, and Kamsa was the same type of king. Kamsa did not hesitate to kill his nephews and imprison his sister and his father. For demons to do such things is not astonishing. Nonetheless, although Kamsa was a demon, he was aware that Lord Vishnu cannot be killed, and thus he attained salvation. Even partial understanding of the activities of Lord Vishnu makes one eligible for salvation. Kamsa knew a little about Krishna, that he could not be killed. And therefore, he attained salvation, although he thought of Vishnu, Krishna, as an enemy. What then is to be said of one who knows Krishna perfectly from the descriptions of Shastras like Bhagavad Gita? It is therefore the duty of everyone to read Bhagavad Gita and understand Krishna perfectly. This will make one's life successful. That's end of purport. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are reading about Krishna's pastimes, the advent of Lord Krishna. First of all, I seek blessings from Narayani Mataji and all the devotees to glorify Krishna for my purification. So here, Kamsa is, I think they need to be separate or outside or quiet or something. So Kamsa is acting very heinously, and we are hearing that for a sinful person, it's not very strange that he would kill his own relatives. So we may think that Kamsa is an example from the past 5,000 years ago, and we haven't seen such big demons recently. But actually, this demoniac nature is present within this material world from time immemorial, since this material world existed. Both these demoniac and divine natures, they exist in the material world. So Kamsa is just a very good or very bad example or a perfect example of a demoniac person. So we have to see how much of these qualities are present within current society or maybe within us. And we have to welcome Krishna to kill these demoniac qualities that are within this society and within us. So Kamsa here, he's not hesitant in performing these atrocious activities. He's ready to kill he was ready to kill Devaki, his own sister, and now he has killed his 6 nephews. And Prabhupada gives example of more recent, one of the rulers, Aurangzeb, the Mughal ruler in India. He was very atrocious and cruel. He would kill many Hindus and destroy many temples. In Vrindavan, many temples were destroyed, and that's how many of the deities were moved from Vrindavan to other places, like Rupa Goswami's deities. Radha Govinda is now in Jaipur, and also Sanatan Goswami's original deities, Radha Madan Mohan deity. It's in a place called, Karoli. That's also in Rajasthan, I think, yes. So like that, see, these atrocious Mughal rulers will attack Hindu temples and also kill many Hindus. So this is a recent example, and comes some maybe a little more distant example in a distant past. But these atrocities are still going on. If you see the news, all these things are present. But why are we not fully understanding this fact? Because the illusory energy of Krishna is there. We think, oh, these things may be going on now, but things are not that bad. So we have a chance of enjoying, and others also have this chance of enjoying. Some people somewhere in the world are suffering, but that's okay. It's not that bad. There was some shooting recently, not the shooting with the camera, but the shooting with the gun in Australia. But that was very far away, 800 kilometers away. So it's not that bad. We are okay, and we can enjoy, and others can also enjoy. We are not selfish. We may think like that. We are not selfish. We want to enjoy. Let everyone enjoy, and we'll get our share also. But these books like Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, again and again stress that dukhalayam ashashvatam. This place is temporary and it's full of miseries. There is no happiness. The glimpse of happiness which is there actually has a negative effect. How? The example given is of a desert where there is practically no water. And a person who has lost his way in the big desert, he doesn't know where to go, cannot find any water there, there's no oasis nearby, and he's almost on the verge of death out of thirst. And then someone comes and claims, oh, I have got water. And he, brings his small dropper with a drop of water and puts one drop on the tongue of the person. So it is a fact that the person has got water, but it's not enough to satisfy him, or what to speak of relishing his, his life. So same way, this material world has little bit of happiness, and that too mixed, not pure. Material happiness which is present here is not pure, it's mixed with miseries. So the person who got a drop of water, he becomes more agitated rather than becoming satisfied. He becomes more agitated. So that's why there is no glory to material happiness. Yesterday I was speaking to His Grace Vrishni Vamsha Prabhu. He rarely speaks philosophy amongst devotees. To new people, he's a perfect example of that. When we say amongst devotees, Vaishnava should be like a lamb, and Vaishnava should be like a lion in chase while preaching. So Vrishni Vamsha Prabhu is like that. So usually he doesn't speak much amongst devotees. So but yesterday somehow I've known him from a long time, 20 years. So yesterday he asked me a question just to philosophically discuss something. He said, what do you think that does Krishna give darshan to you at the time of death or even before, during the life of a devotee? So then I was thinking, and what came in my mind was Narad Muni's example from first canto, that Narad Muni, in his previous life, when he was the son of the maidservant, and his mother died, and then Narad Muni, as a 5-year-old child, he started walking towards the north, and he alone, as a child, he went through the forests, villages, mountains, and at one place he sat down and he started meditation. because he was purified by eating the remnants of pure devotees, the Bhaktivedantas, Mahabhagavats. So he was purified. So he went and he meditated. And then Krishna gave him a darshan. But then Krishna said that your practice is not perfect at the moment. You are still immature. So in this life, this is the only time I'll give you darshan. And when you become fully pure, you will be able to see me again. So this is what I said to Vrishnivamsha Prabhu. And then he was telling some examples like that. And basically, what he was saying is, if a devotee thinks that, getting a darshan of Krishna, seeing face to face, seeing Krishna face to face is a very distant event that may happen when I die, which will happen, we don't know when, and it may not even happen. We are devotees, we may not die. So neophyte may think like that. So seeing Krishna face to face is a very distant thing, and so becoming fully pure is a very distant thing. So while we are here in this material world now, let us also enjoy materially little bit. It's not a big problem. So what happens with this mentality is we waste a lot of time, and actually we are in Maya. We may do, we have our one leg, one foot on one boat and another foot on another boat. Once we are trying to be a devotee also and enjoy materially also. So what happens if you have both your feet on two separate boats? It's a dangerous situation. We'll drown. Because Maya, it says in, I think, Prema Vivarta, Jhapatiya Dhare, means Maya is not, it's not that we start practicing bhakti and Maya immediately leaves us. It doesn't happen like that. Actually, a devotee knows that Maya acts even more ferociously for devotees, because devotee is trying to get out of grip of Maya, so Maya will act even more vehemently. So we have to be very careful. So pure devotee understands that. We know Prabhupada's statement that, two statements. One, he says that the difference between me and my disciples is that my disciples are not afraid of Maya. Which means, in ignorance, we may think like that. But a pure devotee, and another statement, like pure devotee like Prabhupada, in his another statement, he says that I will never fall down because I am always praying to Krishna. Please don't let me fall down. So devotee has a very amazing understanding of Maya. And for a pure devotee, Maya acts like mercy. When devotee sees Maya affecting him, the Mahamaya, he takes more shelter of Krishna. So for a devotee, Maya acts like that. But it's not that Maya vanishes when you start practicing bhakti. So the point we were discussing yesterday was that we should always be vigilant. There is that saying that vigilance is the price you pay for liberty. If you really want to be free, so in Bhagavad Gita also says, these regulative principles that we have, these are regulative principles of freedom. So real freedom comes when we are always vigilant. As soon as we become casual, then Maya, that's the time when Maya attacks. And Maya is just waiting. It's not that Maya becomes, takes a holiday. That, he's busy in his sadhana bhakti, let me find someone else. She's very capable of putting everyone, all living entities into illusion. Because Mama Maya Duratya, Krishna also admits, my Maya is very difficult to overcome. So here Kamsa is acting in a very demoniac way. And this verse, in a surprising way, it says that, to satisfy their own whims, these greedy people can kill anyone, even their relatives. So these 6 enemies that are there within our heart, they are referred to as enemies of mind or the highway robbers. And the words used in Bhagavatam are anarthas or abhadras, shinvatam swakata Krishna, punya shravana kirtana, hridi antastho hi abhadrani vidunoti suhit sadam. So by hearing the glories of Krishna and holy name, these abhadras or these 6 enemies of lust, anger, greed, etc., they are cleansed from within the heart. So in today's verse, we see the words given are asutripa, those who envy the lives of others. So out of envy, we can be ready to kill others, even our relatives. As we hear very often that meat eating actually signifies that how much envy is there. A person is ready to kill another living entity for the pleasure of their own tongue. That this living entity has to die. This is envy. That this living entity has to die because I have to get this little bit pleasure of tongue. You know, they buy these fast food from these fast food chains, and they eat something and they say, oh, today they didn't make it very nice. And some living entity died and they say, oh, I didn't like that today. That this thing didn't give me 10 seconds of pleasure. So, not that good. Not that good. And a living entity had died for your food, but you are not satisfied. So this is envy. How bad it can get. And then lubdha, greed. So this envy, greed, lust. Greed is another big enemy actually, and it can never be satisfied. So Hiranyakashipu was ruling whole universe. Still he was not satisfied because he had not controlled his senses. So these 6 enemies are there, and if we feed them, they will keep on increasing, and there is no limit. So we may think Kamsa is acting in a very surprising way, but actually it's not very surprising. Krishna has already said in Bhagavad Gita, if you have demoniac qualities, what will happen? Everything is listed in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And if you have divine qualities, how will you act? So everything is given. So we shouldn't be surprised. In 12th canto, there is one shloka which says, Kalau kaki nike pyarthe. Same concept is given there. That in Kali Yuga, the word given is kakini. Kakini means a coin. For just a coin, a person will be ready to kill his brother or father or mother. Same thing is given. What's the value of a small coin? What is the smallest Australian coin? 5 cents. If you see in size also, it's very small, very light, and in value it's very less. Can you buy anything in 5 cents? Just 5 cents, you won't get even a small candy. You can't get in 5 cents. It's very insignificant. I remember one time before joining ashram, I worked in a company with Mathura Manohar Prabhu. So I had to, as assistant accountant, sometimes I had to give some petty cash change to other workers, the staff. So there was one business development manager. So I had to give him some change, and coincidentally it happened that there were some notes and only 5-cent coin that I had to give him. Some notes and a 5-cent coin. So I gave him that, and he laughed. And he said, oh, the 5 cents, don't worry about the 5 cents. But I was just trying to be very precise. That was my duty to give exact amount. So I gave the exact amount. So first he laughed, and then I insisted, no, you keep that. But he was like business development manager. He had his ego. So then he became angry actually. First he laughed, and then when he saw I was insisting, then he said, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry, you don't give it to me. So he was not even ready to take that 5-cent coin. It's so insignificant. But what is the nature of Kali Yuga? even for the sake of small coin, a person will be ready to kill their own relatives. This is how ridiculous Kali Yuga is, and more we will see. It's just we are just 5,000 years in Kali Yuga. There's how much? 427,000 more years to come. So it will become worse and worse and worse. So we don't have to wait to see that darkness. We are here because we wanted to see some of that darkness. So we are here in the beginning part of Kali Yuga, but it will become more and more dark. So we have to take shelter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which has arisen as the sun in this dark age of Kali to deliver these fallen souls. So we have to take shelter. So here we see the Narad Muni played a role. In last few verses we heard, Narad Muni basically said, anyone can be Vishnu. All these demigods have taken birth in the family of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev. So we don't know how these demigods act. So just see the position of Narad Muni. In second canto, I think that verse is there, Sura Surarchita. A pure devotee can actually approach anyone. And on book distribution, you can feel. There are different types of people with different proportions of divine and demoniac natures, but a book distributor or a preacher approaches anyone. And then you see different reactions. Some people are amazed, oh, this is wonderful. And some people, they threaten you. What are you doing here? This is illegal. What they are doing is legal. Meat eating, intoxication, illicit affairs, gambling, that's all legal. That's been made legal. It has been normalized in the society. And more brutal forms of these sins are being normalized. But then, see, some of these demoniac people may say, what are you doing? This is illegal. So basically, of course, as much as possible, a devotee follows the law of the land. Otherwise, how will we run the society? The organization we have to follow the law of the land. We have to register everything properly according to the country and the government and the system. But at the same time, we have to understand the main law that we are following is the law of the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So, distributing Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is totally legal. Someone may think it's illegal, so we don't have to disturb them too much. We can go somewhere else and speak to someone else. Because there is no scarcity of conditioned beings. Most of the people are conditioned. So we don't have to disturb a demoniac person too much. It is said, what's the shloka in Sanskrit? Prakopaya Murkha, or something like that. If you say good words to a foolish person, they become very angry. So, okay, leave them alone. That's the expertise of a preacher. You can, because from the face, you can't tell a book from the cover. So sometimes you can't judge who is a fully demoniac and who is not. So by showing these books and this knowledge to people, then their character comes out, pops out. And then you should be ready either to give them more or go away. Outreach is like feeding a baby. A small baby is there. If you give less, the child will not be satisfied, it will cry. And if you give too much, the child will vomit. So a preacher with maturity slowly and slowly understands how much to give and how less to give. So that's there. So Narad Muni is so expert that he can approach even demons and devotees. So he approached Kamsa and said, you can't trust these demigods. So they have taken birth here, and definitely you cannot trust Vishnu. He wants to kill you. There was a voice from the sky proclaiming that the eighth child of Vasudeva will kill you. So you can't trust anyone. So Kamsa goes on to kill 6 nephews who actually are just like the sons in Vedic culture. Nephews, nieces, they are considered to be own children actually. And uncles, aunts, they are considered just like parents in a closed, conventional or orthodox Vedic culture. These were the things. And you even hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita when Nimai Pandit, as a young boy, was trying to tease these young girls, and they said, you are just like our brother. So within the small village setting, everyone is considered like a family member. So here, Kamsa's bad character is coming out. So this is how illusory energy acts. So if we use Krishna's energy for Krishna's service, then it's called Lakshmi. Lakshmi has to be used for Narayana. And if it's not used for Krishna's purpose, then it acts as Durga, or expansion of Krishna, illusory expansion of Lakshmi. So pure form is Lakshmi, and the perverted reflection or the expansion of Lakshmi that acts in the material world is Durga. So Durga has 10 arms, and in each arm there is either a weapon or a severed head of a demon. But the people who are affected by illusory energy, they approach Durga for their sense gratification. One time one devotee was speaking in the class, and they explained that a person, his eyes become so enamored by the external beauty of Durga, he approaches Durga with the attitude of sense gratification, and he misses the reality that Durga has so many weapons to kill that person in all the 10 arms. And there is a severed head also. But the person is enamored by the beauty, and he goes towards Durga to enjoy. And what happens is the head is chopped off. So there is no, as in the movies they say, and they lived happily ever after. The last scene, it used to be written there. And they lived happily ever after. How is this possible materially? Not possible. The happiness is mixed and it's rare, and there is no ever after of the body. Body is temporary. Dukhalayam and ashashvatam. So that is there. So if we approach Krishna and dedicate everything for Krishna's service, then the real pleasure begins. Then the material happiness and distress is just external. Anarthopashamam sakshat bhakti yoga madokshaje lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhitam. In the beginning of Bhagavatam it is said that all these material activities are just superfluous. They are redundant. They are not needed by the soul. Soul doesn't need the material body, material senses to enjoy. Anandamayo bhyasat. Soul is a part of the super soul or Krishna, and Krishna is always enjoying. So if we connect to Krishna very deeply by the process of Bhakti Yoga, then we can also enjoy. We can be a part of Krishna's enjoyment. But then there it is said in Bhagavatam, Lokasya janato. The people don't know this. And that's why Vyasadeva wrote these Satvata Samhitam, these scriptures. He divided one Veda into 4, and then he also wrote the histories, Mahabharata, etc., and the Puranas. And amongst them, then finally, even after writing Vedanta Sutra, what came was Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the Amal Puran, which is there for us. Otherwise, we will be trapped. And what will we have? Bhaya, Shoka, Moha, this will be there. And in the same section, it's described. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne parama purushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsam shok moh bhayapaha. So all conditioned living entities are affected by lamentation, illusion, and fear. So if we perform this Bhakti Yoga unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Parama Purushe, within this verse of 7th chapter, I think 177 of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, everything is there. The Sambandha, we are part and parcel of Krishna. The Abhideya, we have to perform Bhakti, the 9 processes of Bhakti. And the goal, the supreme goal of love of Godhead. Everything is there in this one verse of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So this is the conclusion. But why is it difficult to follow? Chanting is very easy, and as well as it's difficult. Prabhupada says, people say that, oh, this process is too easy, so it may not be topmost. You have to do these gymnastics, as Prabhupada some places says, Ashtanga yogis are acrobats. Acrobats. In a funny way, Prabhupada was, some places he refers to these yogis as karma yogis, jnana yogis, ashtanga yogis, and bhakti yogis. But as a fun, sometimes Prabhupada writes, sense gratifiers, mental speculators, acrobats, and then pure devotees. So just to make us understand that Bhakti Yoga is the topmost platform. And other yogas, they are the lower rungs of the same ladder, and you cannot get the final result without a tinge of bhakti. There has to be a tinge of bhakti in other processes to get the effect or the result of those processes. So that's why Bhakti Yoga is there. And just see how Vasudeva and Devaki are acting here. They are fully on the spiritual level, and they are not affected. They are trying to perform both activities. Vasudeva, he was a king, a politician, so he was trying to save Devaki. He tried to save their own children, but he was very practical also. So he was a pure devotee, as well as he was fulfilling his conditional duties. So there are conditional duties and constitutional duties. So pure devotees like Vasudeva, they exemplify a performance of conditional and constitutional duties simultaneously in perfection. So neglecting material life is not the solution. Once a devotee takes full guidance from a senior Vaishnavas, he can perform both actions perfectly. And then we can fully connect to the Supreme from within. So I'd like to end there and see if there are any questions or any comments or corrections from Mataji. Question, any mic there?
Prabhuji, thanks for the nice class. Now, you're mentioning in the that material life neglection is not going to be easy, or it's not going to give us bhakti is easy. That's what my understanding is. Now, if you see in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or in general, Acharyas also, they don't have taste for material life. That's how they attain Krishna. So it's kind of sometimes very confusing. Like it seems to be that there is no taste for a material life for a jiva, but we still have to be bound in this material life doing our duties. And then we have to attain Krishna also. So how to manage this?
How to balance both. So that's why there is Varnashrama system. So Krishna has given this Varnashrama system for leading a perfect material life. The Varnashrama designations are material designations. How you can work within this material world, but perfectly. So if we perform our Varnashrama duties perfectly, so we are perfect on the material platform, and simultaneously we have to perform 9 processes of bhakti. And how it can be balanced, that will, in our personal case, the guidance will come from our spiritual masters, Shiksha and Diksha Guru. That's why they are there. We have live Shiksha Gurus and Diksha Gurus to give this guidance, how to balance perfectly, because there are no free lunches in this world. If someone is a Grahastha, the Grahastha has to earn and pay the bills. So that has to be done. But how much to do? This is the question. How much to earn or how less to earn? So the point is, all the material needs have to be met. At the same time, the sadhana has to be there. Minimum 16 rounds, reading Prabhupada's books 1 to 2 hours. So that's the highest priority, but at the same time, we have to take care of the body also. So body has to be healthy, sadhana has to be there, and then some service has to be there. So everything has to be there. So these Shiksha Gurus and Diksha Gurus can point out that, oh, now you are going too much on the bodily need side. Or, this much sadhana is enough. Or now you're doing less sadhana. Or you're doing too much service. There's one devotee who sometimes calls neophyte devotees who don't know how much service to do. He calls them sevaholics. Sevaholic. Oh, this service, that service, I want to do this, that. And what about chanting? Oh, no time for chanting, no time for reading Prabhupada's books. So in a funny way, that devotee calls sevaholic. We don't have to become sevaholic or sadhanaholic or workaholic. We have to manage. We don't have to be fanatic. So I have to balance. But one devotee says that for neophytes, either we will do too much of something or too less. It's very difficult to strike the right balance, because right balance comes in mode of goodness. So usually we are affected, in general, the default modes are the mode of passion and ignorance. So either we will do something too much or too less. Again, yesterday, Vishnuvamsha Prabhu was saying, initially when he used to distribute books, his health was quite bad. He used to go to the city with a milk crate and books. His health was bad at one stage, and he couldn't stand for long. So he would sit on the milk crate and then get some energy, stand and distribute some books. But then, he said, I balanced it out. So now he's very balanced. Whatever he can do, he distributes mala, distributes books. So like that. We have to do service, sadhana, and take care of health in perfect way. And for that, we need guidance. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. It's mentioned, like the prophecy said that Krishna would have been born as the 8th child anyway. And the advent of Krishna is for the 2 reasons: to kill the demons and protect the devotees. One of the major reasons is to protect the devotees. Narad Muni, he deliberately instigated Kamsa to kill the first 6 children. So it's like making someone commit sinful activity on purpose, because Krishna would have been born anyway. So
what was the last part? I missed.
That Narad Muni, he kind of instigated Kamsa to kill first 6 children.
Yes.
But Krishna would have been born anyway, right, as the 8th child.
Yes.
So why did he make him commit more sinful activities on purpose? Because Krishna would be there anyway.
Krishna, yes. Krishna would come anyway, and his will be will be realized anyway. So Narad Muni and devotees, Narad Muni is also called Trikalagya. He knows future also. He knows the past, he knows the present. And in one portion of Krishna book you would read in 10th canto, Narad Muni says, he's talking to Krishna and he says, oh, in the future we will see that you will go to Mathura, you will kill Kamsa. He was already saying that. So Narad Muni knew that Krishna would come and kill Kamsa, but he saw some hesitance in Kamsa. So he thought maybe it will be delayed. So he knew that this is the course of the Leela, but there should not be any delay. So he made sure that there is no delay in appearance of Krishna. And same in the life or pastimes of King Yadu. When Yayati approached him that, can you take my old age and give your youth? So Yadu knew that Krishna would come in his dynasty, But he didn't want to delay that, he was afraid that if I take my father's old age and then get back my youth and then, propagate progeny and like that, then Krishna's appearance may be delayed. So he refused, no, thanks. So devotees know that Krishna would anyway appear and they don't want to delay it. Maybe one Prabhu can ask a question, then it can come. Hare Krishna. Off.
Thank you. When you were talking about how, in the beginning of your class, you mentioned how seeing Paramatma is, so my question is seeing Paramatma the same as seeing Krishna?
So, there are 3 levels of understanding, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Shabdete. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate realization of Absolute Truth. But Absolute Truth has 3 aspects. The localized Paramatma within the heart, the all-pervading Brahman, effulgence, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Supreme Personality of Godhead includes Paramatma feature, because Paramatma feature is Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is an expansion of Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Brahman is just the effulgence coming from the body of Krishna. So for devotee, when he sees Krishna, he is already seeing Paramatma, he is already seeing Brahman effulgence. It's not separate. Everything is included within Krishna. So when a devotee sees Krishna face to face, he's seeing Paramatma face to face already. Because within the body of Krishna, all the expansions are present, all the incarnations are present.
Thank you. And I just have a quick question about how Maya acts more ferociously to devotees. Is taking shelter of Subhadra Maharani enough to overcome that? In other words, does she have authority to tell Durga to stop?
So everyone has authority, but the thing is, it's not separate. One time I asked this question to Bhanu Maharaj, I think. Who has more mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Nityanand Prabhu? Because we say Namo Mahavadanyaya, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation. But then when he was ready to kill Jagai and Madhai, Nityanand Prabhu said, no, please be merciful to them. So who is more merciful? So that was the question. So then Maharaj said, you can't separate them. To see them separate is a fault. So they are one package. So Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, JBS, they are always together. She is always there. So it's not like taking separate shelter of Subhadra. It's taking shelter of Krishna means taking shelter of Baladev and Subhadra as well. So it's one package. Krishna, his name, his entourage, his associates, his dham, it's all one in that sense. So yes, they are fully, each personality is fully empowered to, help us come out of Maya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the class. Prabhu, you were mentioning about Maya. So my question is, can Maya Devi help us in going towards Krishna? Because we know that anything in this material world can help us in advancing towards Lord Krishna, even if it is used in Krishna's service, just like the anarthas. So can Maya Devi help a devotee in going towards Krishna?
So using things in Krishna's service, that's one thing, to see everything as Krishna's energy and using it for Krishna. But then the other aspect is when Maya tries to take us away from Krishna. So a devotee sees that an opportunity to surrender to Krishna more. So that's another aspect of it. So the example given is you're walking on a street and a dog starts chasing you, and you don't like dogs, for example. So then dog is chasing you, so you move faster. I gave this example before. If you are coming towards temple and a dog starts chasing you, you start walking or running faster. So the dog helped you to reach the temple faster. That was not dog's intention, but So that's the point. So Maya helps a devotee in that sense. So when a devotee sees something which is some material thing which is attracting. So devotee says, no, no, take shelter of holy name more, take shelter of devotees more, take shelter of Bhagavatam more, like that. So that, in that sense, Maya acts as mercy. And in Sanskrit, in third canto, Prabhupada writes in one of the purports that the Sanskrit meaning of Maya is that which is not, that's the literal meaning, but Sanskrit words have many meanings. So one meaning is mercy. And how it means mercy is in this way, that we go towards Krishna faster. When I gave that example, when Prabhupada said, I will never fall down into Maya because I am always praying to Krishna that please don't let me fall down in Maya. So, in that sense. Any other questions or comments?
Prabhuji, can I
Hare
just
Krishna.
want to ask, just to add for Savia's question, Prabhuji, is there a way we can play safe with Maya? Because the more we want to go closer to Krishna, the more tests the Maya will do. So I kind of understand that if we take more shelter of Krishna, that we can have His mercy. But is there a way we can play safe? Like, can we trick Maya?
So this is like about the tests. So Krishna is giving a test through Maya, but Krishna is also giving you all the textbooks to prepare from, and the lectures and the association of devotees. So if we prepare well, then we are safe. Examiner can ask any question, we'll answer it. So in Bhagavatam, there is everything present to deal with all the tests. Any test. This is the universal set. Everything is a subset of this universal set. So taking shelter of Bhagavatam and holy name is the only way. Then you are safe. So reading Bhagavatam daily, hearing Bhagavatam daily, and chanting minimum number of rounds, that will keep us safe. Okay, Hare Krishna, I think we can stop here. Thank you very much. Granthra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun